What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you for being here tonight. It is Monday. It is unfiltered reaction time, guys. So I'm glad that you're here. While you're here, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe button, hit the share button. Go ahead and share it with 2 or 3 people. When you're coming in the door, please hit that like button. I see those likes going up. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Let's get those likes up. We got 7 people so far, 8 people now. All right. We're filling up. Hit that like button if you're in here right now. Please hit that like button. The like button helps the algorithm and helps this show to continue to be as great as we intended it to be. And it's going to continue to go. We got 9 people in here. Let's hit the like button. We got 5 likes, 9 people in. Let's go ahead and hit that like button real quick before the show gets started, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I see the people coming in. Go ahead and stick a comment in the comment section. Let us know you're here. Give us a shout out, and we'll definitely get you up on the screen and give you a shout out right back. I see some people already in. The comments already. Tonight's going to be a good show, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to break it down. As you can see, the title of the show, Mothers and Grandmothers of the Past Were Stupid. Modern Women Stand Up. All right. Again, mothers and grandmothers of the past were stupid. Modern women stand up. If you agree with that, let me go ahead and make a poll here. Let's see here. All right. Got it in the chat. All right, I want you guys to participate. That's in the chat tonight. I put in the chat, mothers and grandmothers of the past were stupid. Modern women stand up. Is this true? All right, go ahead and hit that vote button. Hit yes or no. Thank you guys again for being here. We're going to start the show soon as everybody is coming in the back right now for the show. Enjoy the music, and I will be back. All right, I will be back. Now, the panel does not know the video that we're watching tonight. As you can see, Queen Smiley so eloquently put it that she doesn't know what we're going to watch tonight, and that's a good thing because I want everybody's reaction to be great. Fight 100, I see you, man. I think I sent you the link as well, brother, if you want to come in tonight if you're not working. And put a 1 in the chat if you're working tonight. If you're not working, man, I'll resend it if I did not send it, my guy. I would love to have your reaction on this as well. But again, thank you for being here. 10 people are in here right now. We got 6 likes. Go ahead and give me 4 more likes so we can get up to 10, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we'll be back with you guys in 30 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. right, thank you guys for being here. I see you guys are still coming in. Go ahead and hit that like button and that subscribe button as you're coming in. I see 14 people are watching right now. We got 10 likes. We need to get them up to 4. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Let's go ahead and get this show started. All right, give me just a second here. All right, we got Chef. Hey, my boy Chef in here tonight. What's going on, my guys? Thank you for being here, man. All right, thanks for being here and being in that chat for your boy tonight. All right, let's see here. Let's go ahead and get the show started, ladies and gentlemen. But ladies and gentlemen, as you're coming in, we got almost 30 seconds until the show starts, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday Unfiltered Reaction, ladies and gentlemen. Glad that you're here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for being here. Let me get my main. There we go. All right, let's see. Thank you guys for being here tonight. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love. All right, let me go ahead and bring up my 2 people that I have in the back tonight. This is going to help me with this reaction. Others will be coming soon. Let me get them in here. You already know my guy that's about to come up now. We got Mandrell in the building tonight. All right. Also, we got the, listen, guys, if you ain't, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do him last, ladies and gentlemen. Queen Smiley's in the building tonight. Absolutely. Last but not least, guys, ladies and gentlemen, I want to play his intro because this guy has brought something. We have collaborated on a great show that has come to this into this channel. And guys, if you have not met Dr. Macaroni, make sure you come in and see Dr. Macaroni. He'll be back in the office sometime next week, probably the week after. But if you haven't seen the Dustosphere, let me give you a taste of what the Dustosphere is like, ladies and gentlemen.
Not scam likely. Hello.
Welcome to the Dustosphere. Welcome to the Dustosphere. Welcome to the Dustosphere. Dr. Panderson is here, so have no fear. Welcome to the Dustosphere.
The best intentions for you. His plans are to prosper. Bring you to an expected end. But your life does not. Oh my God. Oh my God. Bruh. Nigga. Bruh.
Look at that. Welcome to the Dustosphere. Welcome to the Dustosphere. Welcome to the Dustosphere. Dr. Panderson is here, so have no fear. Assalamu alaikum, salam. Assalamu alaikum, salam. Assalamu alaikum, salam. Assalamu alaikum, salam. Welcome to the Dustosphere. Welcome to the Dustosphere. Welcome to the Dustosphere. Dr. Panderson is here, so have no fear. Welcome to the Dustosphere.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Dusto Sphere is in the building tonight. Give it up for Dusto. Dusto, you want to say something to the audience tonight? Hold on, let me get you in here, man. Let me give you a screen. Marco. What's going on tonight, my brother?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Dustosphere. It's quite dusty. Make sure that you take your allergy meds and gas mask if needed. Special shout out this week to my comedic mentor, Mr. OG Speed, also known as Leonard Macaroni. He really brought that fire. Shout out to DL Saint. Shout out to a lot of the people who participated. Shamiria, Mandrell, Queen Smile. And please keep PC in your prayers. She's dealing with some matters. But the Dustosphere, we're here to entertain. We're not here to explain. We're here to shame and blame. And you dig, we're not rocking with those wigs. But come ye, come all, Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're just here to have fun. No beef, no drama. Get your blood pressure down, get you laughing. That's all I got for now.
Absolutely, man. All right. Thank you so much for being here tonight, brother. All right. Let me get everybody back up. So listen, guys, I want to, tonight with the reaction, man, I really want to share this with you guys. I want to get you guys' thoughts. We gotta reconstruct this thing. Keep in mind, on Wednesday, Mandrell has his show on Wednesday. My God, is it gonna be a show? You guys gonna have to tune in for it. Mandrell said he's not playing no more.
It's just gonna be me screaming about Kanye the whole time. Yeah, I mean, Candace Owens, she kind of speaks for herself, so I won't have much on her. It's Kanye and the Negroes, so-called Negroes' obsession with him. Mm-hmm. And they make apologies and excuses for him. And this pathetic weakness is the reason why our community will never be resurrected. This is what you apologize for. This is what you make excuses for, people. That you try to make all kind of reasons for why he does what he does when the simple truth is he's just a jigger. But let me stop. I'm going to continue this on Wednesday.
Make sure you tune in on Wednesday for Unapologetic with Mandrell and Shushu. That'll be at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then also the Dustosphere on Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, guys. Tune in for that. All right, let's get into the show.
Thank you for that, Black Man. I'd also like to say we have 19, 20 people in the chat. We only have 14 likes. Let's get the likes up, people.
Let's get them likes up. Hey, Mandrell, your mic is popping really bad, brother. You might want to adjust your mic. It's popping every time you say something.
Okay.
All right. So, ladies, and while he getting that fixed, we'll be watching the clip. All right, here's the clip for tonight. Nobody has seen the clip. But I do want to play it because I just want to break it down, especially when we got Queen Smiley here that's going to bring some balance to us tonight. So here we go.
Why she always got to have her cape on? Why she always got to be the person to wake the kids up, go to work, make the food, check the homework, suck your, make sure you don't forget this. She got to be your secretary, your porn star. She got to be your maid. She got to be your chef. And now she still got to be your wife. And you think that shit is normal because you grew up watching your mom do all those, have all those hats. And you like, well, my mom did all this for me, so you should be able to. She ain't looking to have a son, bro. It's like the times have changed, but men's expectations of women and what their wives should be haven't morphed with the times, bro. So now we got a lot of men walking around expecting their wives to be their mothers and all these different things. And the only thing you
That was a mouthful.
Queen Smiley, what are your thoughts? Because I'm gonna break this bitch. I'm sorry, I'm gonna break this nigga. I'm sorry. Queen Smiley, go ahead.
I mean,
what are your thoughts?
You can break that beat down if you want to, but I mean, part of what he's saying is true. And the only reason why I say that because okay, Queen Smiley, go ahead and answer.
Oh my God.
You spoke me again. No, they can kiss my delicious ass is what they can do.
Oh.
That part.
Don't make me Rebecca.
All right,
that part.
Mandrell, you're gonna be doing shows with him on Wednesday.
All right, so Queen Smiley, I mean,
so to be honest and fair, there are a lot of men nowadays who expect just that, a woman to be their mother, and that we can't do. You want us to wake you up. You want us to make sure you go down. Now, granted, some things are a woman's responsibility, so I'm not gonna take that away. Okay, it's a woman's responsibility to manage a household, but however, it ain't a woman's responsibility to wear the whole cape and the whole house on her shoulders. And there's no responsibility to the man at all to do any of these things. Okay, if I got to do all of that, I might as well stay by myself. If I got to continue to do everything by myself. So if I got to continue to make sure the kid gets to practice, back and forth to practice, I got to make sure he do his homework. I got to make sure dinner's cooked. I got to make sure the house is. If I got to do all of that by myself, and all you do is sit up here and look at me crazy and expect me to be sexy and on fire and I don't get no relief.
But you ain't paying no bills.
Sorry. Say who what?
But you ain't paying no bills.
Harris Tribe Media Group. I'm sending it to you right now.
That's the idea behind that. Bills? Right. That's the idea behind that mindset. Is that she's doing all that, but the guy goes work, he pays all the bills.
Again, if she's a stay-at-home wife and that's all she has to do, I'm all for it. But if she working outside the home and doing everything else, and all this joker doing is going to work and nothing else, no other responsibility, not even to relieve his queen, I'm sorry, I can't rock with it.
Now, one of the things I'm gonna go ahead and let Mandrell go, then Dusto go. Y'all go because when I go, it's going.
Yeah, you're gonna fire him off.
I can't say what I want to say because
of course you can.
Somebody won't let me use the words that I like to use, and they are relevant. They are relevant for this subject. I don't mean subject isn't the case, but I mean that guy. He's the subject.
Yeah, go ahead.
This
go ahead and not use them. Okay.
You motherfucker. I'll deal with you later. Anyway, I agree with Queen Smiley. If the woman has to work, then you have to be reasonable about this whole thing. If your lady has to go out and work just like you do, even if you're paying all the bills, she's still working. You know, you both work a full-time job. And you have to understand, fellas, you both live in that house. I live there too, so some of this responsibility is mine too. Sometimes I'm going to clean dishes. Sometimes I'm going to cook. Sometimes I'm going to sweep and mop. You know what I'm saying? But if he's working, but in contrast, if he's working and paying all the bills, she don't have to worry about any of that. She's not paying for anything because he's paying the bills and giving her a stipend. That is reasonable. Like you can't give the woman $2 and tell her to go grocery shopping for a family. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, women, you can't expect $10,000 a day. You know, it has to be reasonable. So if you're taking care of business financially and you need her to take care of those things so that you'll be able to go out and work that hard and make that kind of money, all right, I get it. You work in a full-time job, so is she, running the household. But the way this guy's putting it, it's moist, to put it lightly. And I can't, again, you won't let me say what I want to say. You know, fuck you for that, black man. But anyway, yeah, it's moist and
thank
feminine.
You, Savannah.
And it's rather, and it's, thank you, Savannah. Savannah, how you doing? And rather effeminate, I might add, to put it lightly. And weakness like this is the reason why our society and our culture has become so pathetically weak. So I mean, we got too many guys like that with all up in his feelings. I mean, his unit has retracted into female genitalia. I would say he sounds like a woman. He's probably born a man but wants to be a woman. So probably one of those.
All right, now Dusto, get in here and let for the people that just came in.
First we do that. How'd I do?
You did okay. Your mic is still popping, so you may want to go out and come back in. I'll let you back in. But thank you guys for being here tonight. Please hit the like button and subscribe button. We got 25 watching, 22 likes. We're on good with the likes, so we need 3 more people. Get it up to match who's watching, ladies and gentlemen. So if you just came in, you see the title, Mothers and Grandmothers of the Past Were Stupid, Modern Women Stand Up. And so what I want to do is I want to play this clip one more time. We want to play it again a couple more times as people come in, but I want to play it again And then we're going to get Dusto in here. And then Mr. He Said is in the building tonight. Also with CJ from the 5100 that just celebrated their 100th episode as well. He's in the building tonight. All right. So we're going to go ahead and play this clip one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
Why she always got to have her cape on? Why she always got to be the person to wake the kids up, go to work, make the food, check the homework, suck your, make sure you don't forget this. She got to be your secretary, your porn star. She got to be your maid. She got to be your chef. And now she still got to be your wife. And you think that shit is normal because you grew up watching your mom do all those, have all those hats. And you like, well, my mom did all this for me, so you should be able to. She ain't looking to have a son, bro. It's like the times have changed, but men's expectations of women and what their wives should be haven't morphed with the times, bro. So now we got a lot of men walking around expecting their wives to be their mothers and all these different things. And the only thing you...
All right. Dusto, give me your thoughts, and then we'll go to Mr. He Said. Mr. Bennett's in the building tonight.
Unfortunately, there's two sides to this. I think there should have been a woman saying this, implying the message that there's some decent dude that's some kind of high value man or whatever. Or, okay, let me back up. It should be a woman saying this complaint, saying there's a dude who ain't handling his business. Then she got a valid complaint. Dude working at AutoZone playing video games, and his mama did all that for him, and that's why he's playing video games on AutoZone. That's different. That's a complaint. From a man, he sounds like a woman in this complaint because a man I expect to actually communicate the whole story and not based off of this weak ass emotion stuff. As a man, you're supposed to say, okay, starting off with the man who's leader of the house, this man is, and he's become, therefore he deserves a woman to do such and such and such. That's a better complaint. But if you want your woman to do all that, make sure you are that as a man. But unfortunately, not saying in this scenario, I see these dudes that ain't handling business and actually expecting and talking about that. And then they want to talk about how they're supposed to cheat. And then they go pick and choose, talking about, oh, well, we're supposed to spread our seed in these streets. And there are these dudes that do exist that deserve this dust. But the way he expressed it, unacceptable. Let a woman do that who's already saying that she is and she's doing. Not a man coming out here just saying, I'm going to dust off the men and this is who men are. That's a bad representation. Not cool. Feed them to the dust pit.
All right. Mr. He Said, welcome to the show tonight, my brother. Glad that you're here, man, with your perspective. What are your thoughts on the video, my brother?
No doubt, man. Thank y'all for having me. Shout out to all the fellas on the panel and the lovely lady. Shout out to you, sister. A little insensitive for me, just the rhetoric, because it's a little one-sided. I think, we all understand that there are disproportionate relationships. And we all understand that there are insensitive mates. But, to word it the way she did, to just say, there's a lot of hats that our women wear, which is true. But we as men, we wear hats too. Free room and board is a big thing. That's your college or your dad. Because again, the natural trajectory is to go from your dad's house to your dorm room to your husband's room. So we wear hats: security guard, handyman, lawn care, plumber, guy that gets that thing off the high shelf, the strong arm that twists that cap to catch up when you can't. Like, we all wear hats. So it's a little insensitive to hear him be so animate and passionate about something that we've been hearing since the 70s. It's not new what he's saying. We know a lot of women that are very hands-on for whatever reason. Some mothers don't want our help. They are very nurturing. They are very caring. And they think that our big masculine bravado self around this little helpless, precious thing. Nah, I got it. You know what? I'll do it. So, I can understand his point, but like I said, I chalk it up to just some insensitive relationships, and some people are willing to watch their partner go above and beyond. But I think that's an indication of the partner that you have. And maybe you should do a little reevaluation of family structure, of household duties. But there's a lot more ways to handle that situation than, just blasting off one of the fellas, because we've been hearing it's our fault for a long time, and we've sort of gotten used to it. So coming from him, it wasn't anything new, but insensitive.
All right, appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate it. CJ, Mr. Bennett, did you watch the whole video?
Yeah, I did. Yes.
Okay. CJ, what are your thoughts on the video?
It was fucking hilarious to me. Because like the brother next to me mentioned, what never gets mentioned is that yard getting cut. What never gets mentioned is that trash getting took out. What never gets mentioned is trimming them hedges, fixing the drains. Doors come off the hinges at certain times in life. Doors get old. They get to wearing up off that hinge, and you got to go put them new nails in there, fix that door. Like stuff like that, doesn't ever get mentioned when we talk about these household duties. That's one. And she said, I apologize. He said that you expect this because your mother did it. What if my mother did it with her husband?
Come on. I can't wait to go.
See, these guys, man, they do the same thing that, overly red pill men do. They hype on the worst of the worst to try to make the best argument. And it's just BS, man. I'm just going to be honest. So that's my opinion.
All right, Mr. Bennett, what are your thoughts on the video, my guy?
I think I concur with what's been said already. I think a lot of this has to do just with the change in the economic structure. I mean, we're talking about two different economies from before, where women, there was a time when women went to college for the sole purpose of being housewives. One, to find your husband, and then you would major in something like home economics, because you were going to be expected to, take care of not only just the cooking and the cleaning in the house, but the finance and to pay the bills. He would go out and make the money. You then manage the household after that. So, that dynamic worked for many people. Now, the question is, will that work today? I mean, I think as Mandrell and Queen Smiley said earlier, if the woman's working, then that changes the game. But we've seen just in the last 50 years how the dynamic, well, I'd say 60 years.
Can I ask you something?
Change. Sorry?
Can I ask you something real quick?
Yes, sir.
So the dynamic has definitely changed. I agree there. But has responsibility changed?
Has responsibility changed in terms of relationships? I think work, changes the responsibilities. So if you're talking about two people working in a household, I think at that point you're at a point of negotiation, and I think those are things that you work out between you two. And I think it can be different for everybody. I don't think there is a cookie cutter approach to that. There's men who, you as a man, you may prefer to do more domestic duties than your wife, or vice versa. Because most of these guys today, a lot of these things that you were talking about, a lot of guys don't have those skills anymore. Most of the time, if you need something fixed, you're going to hire somebody to do it. Most guys don't know how to go and fix up the house, or no basic carpentry skills or plumbing or electrical skills or whatnot. So you're going to hire that out. So again, us trying to compare a 1960s economy to a 2022 economy, I don't think that's going to necessarily get us anywhere. But the bottom line is, whatever arrangement that you work out in your house, whether it be in 1960, where there was a definitive delegation of roles, or in 2022, where you actually have men who are actually opting to stay home, and the wife gets. I work with a guy who basically his wife retired him, basically saying, "Look, you don't need to do this. I make plenty of money. Hey, stay home, take care of the house," and he took the deal. I'm not going to hate on him for that. I'm not going to call him a simp. I'm not going to call him out because he decided to do that. But I think it's important that both the man and the woman, you decide how you want your household to run and to function. And people, I think, honestly need to honor that. But for everybody pushing that we need to have this cookie cutter approach in terms of how households are run, I'm just not rocking with that in 2022. But I think the duties have to be defined. The contract has to be defined. What that entails, that's up to you. But for people to just go around with no idea of who's going to be doing what, then I think that's where the trouble is, where the expectations aren't met or understood between the two parties. I think that's where the confusion, that's where the frustration comes in.
I just wanted to say something real quick, because I agree with Mr. Bennett. But here's something I do know. They're going to complain regardless. This is what I know.
Men will also.
Cool, but I'm just talking about women right now. So
right. But we have to talk about both. If we're going to have an honest conversation, we got to talk about both.
I was making a specific point from a man's perspective. Because I've paid all the bills before, and she bitched about not having enough time to help her around the house. And then when I wasn't working as much and wasn't paying all the bills, she bitched about not having enough money in the house. There's going to be complaining either way. I think what you have today, even with the conversation like this, I've had this conversation so many times, and I'm doing a reaction video tomorrow about this kind of same subject, and it's the same podcast as well, where a woman came on the show and was saying, you have women that are married that are still single mothers. That was what she said, because they have to do everything with the kid. What I'm starting to notice, women do not want to do their role, whatever the fuck it is. They're going to complain. That's what I've noticed.
I think there's a reason for that.
Never mind. Go ahead.
And I just want to say this, because one note that I added for this gentleman who's saying all of this, I hope that he has that same energy when he speaks about a woman's responsibility. Is he holding her equally responsible for what she carries? And I understand some people won't, but just like you mentioned, you had a situation that you were in where the woman complained either way. You, my sir, had a trash woman, because we have to hold women, and I'm not judging her. And if she listening, guess what? I said it, okay? And I'm not coming at you any kind of way, CJ, but I'm just speaking the honest truth. Women have to be held accountable. Just like this man is out here saying, men, y'all can't go do X, Y, Z. I have to say to the women also, women, you can't be out here with a man and not matching energy also, because there's still a responsibility on both parties. And like Mr. Bennett said, a conversation has to be had. So if it's the case that you ran into a woman and she presented herself to be that way before you got with her, chances are she's going to be that way. And so we have to be very conscious and responsible about the energy that we're giving and pouring into people. Because when people show you who they are, Hink says it the best, leave them at the restaurant, because the mentality is not going to change. So if those trash women are out there, trash woman, if you're listening and you're not willing to pick up your end of the bargain and match that energy in that relationship, man, same thing for you. Please move on and don't waste people's time.
Every woman fusses about
you can't say every woman, because I'm a woman and I don't do that.
You know what I'm saying?
I never fuss. You can ask Black Man, you can ask my ex-husband. Never had a problem with me working full time, in the military part time, and taking care of the household. The man never fixed his own plate. And that was while we were waiting on the divorce paperwork to process. I'm a woman and I own my responsibility, and women have to own their responsibility to the household.
Right. Now I definitely want to get Jedi Mike in here, and then I'm going to get in here. We can continue to have a conversation. But Jedi, what are your thoughts on the video? Did you see it?
I think probably want to see it one more time before, if I can make my response.
Absolutely.
Why she always got to have her cape on? Why she always got to be the person to wake the kids up, go to work, make the food, check the homework, suck your, make sure you don't forget this. She got to be your secretary, your porn star. She got to be your maid. She got to be your chef. And now she still got to be your wife. And you think that shit is normal because you grew up watching your mom do all those, have all those hats. And you like, well, my mom did all this for me, so you should be able to. She ain't looking to have a son, bro. It's like the times have changed, but men's expectations of women and what their wives should be haven't morphed with the times, bro. So now we got a lot of men walking around expecting their wives to be their mothers and all these different things. And the only thing you...
What are your thoughts, Jedi?
Queen Smiley said, I think perfectly, saying have that same energy on both spectrums. It just, again, I just don't like, This is my generation though. I can say in terms of social media, like we like take these Instagram videos that has like these Instagram quotes that can make up our day that we repost. Like, oh, see that? Focus on you. Or this will listen, and they just keep reposting it. But again, what happened is the con of the Instagram videos that have like these quotes is that they leave out a narrative that's really unrealistic, and to a point that they're actually creating the very problems that they complain about. Because again, you're having this expectation of talking about, oh well, why did she have to do this and this? And I'm like, okay, bro, I'm saying as a man, I have one thing: why should I have to die to you? I die for you. Like, why as a man, like, why should I die for a woman even though she's not going to respect me? But we're supposed to say that because we're not just to times. We're all equal today. If we want just to times, the point that he's making, again, we've fallen out of order. Even then, to a point that regardless what you have in your own household, there's certain things of duty and responsibility. One, whether that you feel like it's part of duty, but also what you want to do. I want to serve my man a plate. I want to actually take care of the thing, not because I'm babying him, because that's like, that's what your expression what love is. For a man, it's like, okay, I want to change the oil. I want to do things, handiwork around the house, because I love her, but also I enjoy doing it. Again, that does not make me say I'm trying to be babying the person because I'm fulfilling a responsibility or a role. Again, I think there's a lot of times the problem is that we like to take the benefits of these roles. We don't want to accept the responsibility, right? The benefits is of peace, having things sometimes being pampered, whatever. But then what's the caveat? What actually work? You actually reaping the benefits of getting what you want. And this person here, again, he kept saying, have the same energy. If when your woman keeps saying you ain't doing this, you ain't doing that, I'm just saying, be equal on both fronts.
Black man.
Now,
go ahead.
Now, I'm going to pull this up to where I can pause it and stop it, because I want to take the limbs off the tree so it won't bear no more fruit. So let me name this file, bitch nigga. Okay, there it is. All right, so I got the file name. Let me go ahead and pull it up so I can go ahead and
take your time, Pastor. Take your time now.
Yeah. I gotta pull it up where we can pause it so I can deconstruct the man, because he ain't right. And these women out here are applauding this man. He's another Derrick Jackson. He's probably doing this while his side chick holding the camera. But
that's the same exact thing I was thinking. He's another Derrick Jackson.
Yeah, another Derrick Jackson. All the women believed in him, and he was giving videos in the truck. The niggas saying shit. Y'all need to get away from these niggas. And Susan
parked in front of his side chick's house,
right into his side chick house.
But he was parked right. You can see his side chick's house in the video.
Yeah. And his wife's in their home with a bonnet on, and he holding her hand, and she look like she just got through baking some spoiled cookies. Let me go ahead, and we're gonna talk about Derrick tonight. We're here to get this man out the way. All right, let me go ahead and start the video. Here we go. All right, let me start and stop. Here we go.
Why she always got to have her cape on? Why she always got
like the one you're wearing right now?
No. Why do I always have to be Iron Man? Why do I always have to go to work all day and pay the bills? Why do I have to go mow the yard? Why do I have to protect you when somebody break in the house? Why do I have to always cover you? Why do I always have to be there for you when you got doctor's appointments? Why I always got to be there for the kids at their football games and their basketball games? Why do I always have to be there for basketball camp? Why I always got to be there for vacation Bible school? Why I always got to go fill the truck up in the car, pay the car insurance and the truck insurance? Why I always got to come in the house and you don't cook every day? Why I always got to come in the house? Why is it that the Mexican man at Home Depot can sit in the parking lot all day and go fix a light bulb and make $150 and go home to a woman that treat him like he's a millionaire, and I come in making $100,000 a year, $80,000 a year, and I can't be treated like a king? Why? But let's continue. Why? But let's go. Why I gotta be Iron Man? Okay, here we go.
Gotta be the person to wake the kids up, go to work, make the food, check the homework, make sure you don't forget this. She got to be your secretary, your star. She got to be your maid. She got to be your chef. And now she still got to be your wife. And you think that shit is normal.
Okay. Well, first of all, she married me, and from a religious standpoint, I'm gonna talk about that because that's where I come from. Where I come from, the wife is the nurturer. The wife nurtures the children. The wife is there for her sexually. The Bible says, if we want to go biblically, we can talk biblically here. The Bible says, "Do not deprive your husband from his sexual desires. If you do so, do it only if you both agree. And if you don't agree, then when you do agree and go back to your sexual desires immediately, so your husband won't be tempted." So we're playing with fire when we're saying, "Oh, your husband, you want your dick sucked or you want to get some pussy?" Yes, because that's all in it. That's all about marriage. When you married me, you said you're going to be there for me through sickness and in health. That's with the flu, or when I'm walking around looking good, broke, when I got money, when I ain't got no money. Are we making false commitments and getting into these things and don't want to take the job description? You as a wife are a helpmate. So any man, let me say this to me. All these men out here, like this man right here, he probably considers himself a high quality man. Any man that's making some money, the more money you make, the less time you're going to be at home to wake up the kids. The less time you're going to be at home to take the kids to practice. The less time you're going to be at home to take the kids to choir rehearsal or dance practice.
Come on, Black
or
man.
Football practice. The more money you make, the more you grind, the more you're going to be away from the house. I heard TD Jake say this. I heard him say this 6 weeks ago. TD Jake says any man that's at home for a long time ain't doing
Come
nothing.
on, man.
But any man that's out, if any man that's out doing his job and struggling and striving for his family, he's not going to be at home to tuck them in. He's not going to be at home to take them to practice. He's not going to be at home to do all those things that that the woman wants him to do. So she's going to have to wake him up in the morning. She's going to have to get that pussy ready when he come in on the weekend after he done struggled all week to make an honest dollar. She's going to have to go and tell the kids to get up and go to football practice. If I'm getting my ass out in the streets, you can wake the kids up from their sleep. Let me continue. Here.
Black man.
Hey, can I say something?
What about the work from home?
This ain't even about this. This ain't even about the subject. Hey man, when a move made in the chat, man, y'all gotta stop talking about the shit back and forth in the chat. If it's done for a reason. With the moderators, man, come on, man.
Now, if we to the moderators, if we hide or ban somebody, if you unban them, I will personally take your wrench and ban you. Don't fuck with me again.
All right, here we go. Now let me thank you, Mandrell. Here we go. Now I want to break this down some more. Here we go. Let's get him out of here.
Because you grew up watching your mom have all those hats, and you like, well, my mom did all this for me, so you should be able to. She ain't looking to have a son, bro. It's like the times have changed, but men's expectations of women and what their wives should be haven't morphed with.
So she don't want to have no son. So let's look at it like this here. If she don't want to have a son, then what's the purpose of a mother being the example? That because most people say in these circles, listen to me, you marry your mother. A girl will marry her father because the father was influential and she saw what kind of man he was. But a young man will marry his mother because his mother was nurturing and loving. So he's going to try to find those traits that's in his mother in the woman that he chooses to marry.
I want my son to marry a woman like me.
So if he's trying to find his mother and marry the characteristics of his mother, then what is the problem with this man? What is the problem with a man looking at a woman like for the characteristics of his mother?
Because black men ain't supposed to want nothing. That's why.
Yeah. So basically what's happening is this, and I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, I'll get the rest of the panel back in here. What I conclude this evening is this is 2022. Today I had an argument with somebody. The reason I named this right here, because I had this conversation at work, and the girls at work said the mothers and grandmothers of the past are stupid as hell for half the shit they did. Fixing plates, working all day, coming in, feeding the man, fixing his plate, and they feed her, they tired, they up in here. But nobody ever talks about the struggle of the black man. Nobody ever talks about how he got to go out and struggle and make a dime and make a living. Nobody ever talks about the men that had to stand in front of the bullet. The graveyard full of men that stood in front of their wives and took a bullet. But we ain't talking about that. All the men that had to go to Vietnam, all the men that had to go to Iraq, Afghanistan, all the men that had to leave their children. What about those women? Are those women going to complain that their husband's not at home tucking in the kid? Are those women going to complain, oh, he's not ever here? Well, he's over there fighting for his country. He's doing another tour in Iraq. So you want him to come in and tuck in the kids? You want him to quit his job? The more money you make, the less time you have to be at home to tuck a kid in. And this is the elephant in the room, and people are not talking about it. I'm done with this guy. Done with this guy.
Okay,
we got Sir Hell and Hink in the building tonight. What's going on, fellas?
Oh, they can go ahead.
Let me get their, hold on, right quick, Dusto. Let me get their perspective first, and we get you back in here. Brother Hink, go ahead, man. What are your thoughts on the video tonight, my guy?
Man, I just caught the tail end of it. You sound like you was roasting my man. So
Man,
I mean, what else I need to say?
Man, here you go.
Why she always got to have her cape on? Why she always got to be the person to wake the kids up, go to work, make the food, check the homework, suck your, make sure you don't forget this. She got to be your secretary, your porn star. She got to be your maid. She got to be your chef. And now she still got to be your wife. And you think that shit is normal because you grew up watching your mom do all those, have all those hats. And you like, well, my mom did all this for me, so you should be able to. She ain't looking to have a son, bro. It's like the times have changed, but men's expectations of women and what their wives should be haven't morphed with the times, bro. So now we got a lot of men walking around expecting their wives to be their mothers and all these different things. And the only thing you do.
Now again, I want to say this. I want to put it in perspective. Somebody on the panel said it earlier. What happens when that son watches? Because I did it. I watched my grandmother do it for my grandfather. And I watch it. I say, damn, when I grew up, I want to be married to a woman just like that. Wow. So just because I saw my grandmother being the woman that she was supposed to be to my grandfather, I all of a sudden have to grow up and forget how generous and nurturing she was and take on this new world of 2022 where the men, you know what it is, fellas? And I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna pull back for a little bit. You know what it is? It's 2022. Men, just get your mind right. Get your mind right and understand that the times have changed, the women have changed, and we have to resort to their behavior. We have to really gravitate to them and say, you know what? You not grandmama. I'm gonna come in here and wash these dishes. But I do want to tell you something. My work time, I'm not gonna take no overtime at work. I'm not going to take no overtime. I'm not going to take no promotion that's going to give me 2 extra days a week to work. I'm not going to do anything extra, but I'm going to be here to wash clothes, dry clothes, fold clothes, put clothes up, cook, clean, give you dick when you want it, go in here and clean the bathroom, go outside and sweep the outside, go outside and do this, tuck the kids in at night, because I'm going to go in and do all that, but I'm not doing nothing extra. That's what we need to conform to. If you want me to do everything, then maybe you need to start making the money that I'm supposed to make by not being at home when I need to, when you feel like I need to be there. But Hink, go ahead, and then Sir Hell speaks and jump in there.
Oh, well, first things first, I think Sir Hell's a stalker, man. I mean, I'm just gonna be straight up honest with him.
Wow.
I think he's a stalker. Now I done left one spot, he came over here, all of a sudden, my brother right there behind me. What is going on here? This bullshitting. He know what? He know I'm bullshitting. Look here, my future wife needs to be what I need her to be. That's what she gonna have to be. And so if she can't be, then she won't be my wife. Then I'm not gonna bless her with my last name. It is what it is. So that's what I need from her. And if I need some ass at least 4+ days a week, then that's what I need. If I need a meal cooked at least 4+ days a week, that's what I need. I know she gonna need to keep that house clean, but just like she gonna have to keep that house clean, I'm gonna keep that yard looking straight. I'm gonna make sure her gas is in her car. I'm gonna make sure her car's running. I'm gonna make sure she's well protected. She ain't got to worry about. No, baby, you ain't got to deal with the gun. I'll deal with it. If an invader comes in when I'm around, don't worry. You stay in the room. You call 911. And I deal with the rest. If I don't come back, Lord knows I love you.
All right, Sir Hell speaks. What are your thoughts?
Simple.
First of all, salute to my brother Black Man Unfiltered, man. I smile whenever I come over here. Queen, smile at this. You're just looking lovely. My brother Dusto, how are you doing, man? Good to see my brother, Mr. He said, Jedi Mike, what's going on? Mr. Bennett, good to see you, sir. Mandrell, good to see 5100. And Hink the Stalker, good to see, man. Listen, good to see my brother again. It's been so long. Good to see you. Shout out to the chat. It's real simple. Get you a wife who wants to be your wife. Like, here's one thing that a lot of us men do. We try to build a wife. We try to fix a woman. We try to make her into something. If that woman is for you, if she has a job or she is busy and she wants you, she will find the time. She will do the work. And the same thing with men. If he wants to be your man, he wants to be a husband to you, it doesn't matter if he works 2 or 3 jobs. He's going to do what it takes to make sure he takes care of home. So my thing is, y'all, listen, if you're over 30, you do not have time trying to force somebody to be something that they're not. Find someone who wants to be for you what you need, and they're grateful to do it. You ought to be happy throwing that thing back. If you got to swing from the chandelier, right? If you got to do what you got to do, be with somebody who's happy with being with you. And if they're not happy with you and they don't want to give you that, do not waste your time. Because stressing in your 30s, when you're trying to build your credit, your home, and retirement, you don't have time for that struggle, right?
Fair game.
Can I say something right quick? So look, I agree with everything that was said, right? Don't have an issue with that. That's, for the most part, that's pretty much right. But here's my thing. I want to address something else he said. Because he said you saw your mother do X, Y, and Z, so that's why you want it. That's a bunch of shit, bro. Because in most situations with black boys, they want to be what their father wasn't. That's usually how that goes. So it's for him to even say that, it's like, bro, here's the issue. And this is why women get annoyed when we say some of the things we said, like what I said earlier, right? We've heard this shit one way for so long, to even mention the other side is looked at as an attack. And this guy is making money off the same old 50, 60-year rhetoric that has been sold. And you talk about black men need to choose, the right wife. We don't know how. That's what it's coming down to. We don't know how.
Hey, CJ, the reason it's even a talking point, and I'm not defending him, because like I'm saying, he was supposed to establish identity as a man and talk to.
He didn't do it purposely, Dusto. That's my point.
Okay.
Right. No, he did that on purpose.
No, right. That's what I'm saying is there's missing parts of the story. What type of man, what type of woman. But therefore, I'm at least say he should establish who a man is before he goes into criticism of. If he's talking to a woman about a dusty man, that's different. But then again, what's she doing with some old dusty guy? The problem is there is a population of women who aren't qualifying for whatever reasons. No femininity, 400 pounds, whatever. They can only deal with those type of men. That's all they can deal with. So there's a market for that useless conversation. That's the problem. But yeah, I'll just leave it at that. There are these useless men floating around here, and they suck.
The real issue is we've just been lied to. Let's be honest.
Facts.
A lot of women.
Right, it doesn't apply to men who handle their business.
Let me get this point out. So a lot of us have been force-fed a lie that most women do everything. Truth is, a lot of mothers sat in front of the television, didn't do very much, collected public assistance.
Come on.
And they reaped the benefit of mothers who were doing stuff. And because we couldn't ask any questions, because we've elevated women to right next to God. You don't ask God questions, and you don't ask your mama no questions. You don't ask grandma. What they say goes.
Men out there.
Right. And so we're not able to get true perspective. So we've been force-fed this lie that our mothers did everything, when a lot of us, some of you weren't parented. You were managed as kids. This is why you don't have perspective on emotional intelligence. We have poor social skills. Some of these young ladies today have poor hygiene skills. Like this stuff goes deep. But what we have done is we pull back from our historical roots and all the trauma we went through, and we interject that into a conversation, and we give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Every mama wasn't a good mama, and a lot of mamas wasn't doing it all. It's just a lot. We've said that, and then we say amen and we clap our hands until we all grow up and everybody screwed up. And then now we got to go back and ask what went wrong. Is we've been lied to. A lot of mothers didn't do everything, and a lot of men don't want to marry their mothers. Right. A lot of men want to fix their mothers, and so subconsciously they get a woman they got to fix because they're trying to fix something with their woman that needs to be fixed with their moms.
Man, Mr. He said, jump in there.
No, I think that was well said, Brother Hill. I just think that, we really are growing a callous in society and becoming so accustomed to being insensitive in our rhetoric, in our, you know, talking points, that we lose sight of the bigger picture. Again, I stand on my box. I think just the insensitivity is really what gets me. I agree with most of the talking points the brothers said. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there.
All right, Mr. Bennett. I know you got some dimes for me. Come on.
Well, a couple things. One, I just think that currently today, the state of marriage or the way we treat marriage, I think all of this is about perception and what you're brought up to what your belief structure is. And I think that we just believe different things about marriage as our parents or those before them did. We don't talk about this idea of marriage being a covenant where everybody's 100% in. We've been sold over this last 50 years. Like I said, going back, Black Man, to a show we did a few weeks ago on Claire Huxtable.
Yeah.
She was going up there saying, well, marriage is 50-50. And the reality is marriage has never been 50-50, but we've turned marriage into a transaction where, okay, you're going to do so much and I'm going to do so much. And both parties are only going to do only so much. If you do 51.5%, then you think there's an imbalance in the marriage. Whereas there are going to be times when you're going to have to do 100% of everything. If I'm on my back, if I'm disabled or whatever, she's going to have to do everything. Likewise for her as well. And we don't think about it. It's just, that's when we said I do, that's what we do. So no one's thinking about it in terms of covenant. But it's all about contract. It's all about what's the least I can do to get, but that's how society is today anyway. Even in our jobs, let's be real. A lot of people in their jobs, you do, and I'm not going to insult anybody on this panel for sure, but for a lot of people, they do the least amount to get the paycheck. So I'll put my 40 hours in and that's it. But who's the person that's, no, I'm gonna work extra. Not that even I may not even get paid for it, but I'm going to do. I remember there was a quote by Bill Russell, rest in peace, Bill Russell, and he said his father taught him something as a boy. He told him, "You always give your employer more than what they ask you for." And the reason why is because you can then go to them one day and tell them, screw you. Because for them to then replace you, to find somebody who's going to do more than what you do, they're going to have to work that much harder to replace you. So they're going to keep you as valuable because you're doing more than that extra person. But just the mentality of most people, I'm just going to do just enough. Forget working extra, put the extra time in or whatever to stand out from everybody else. So everybody, I think, both men and women across the board, are underperforming. And nobody's working as hard as our grandmothers did. Again, before washing machines, you used to have the washing board. You have to scrub the clothes. You have to put them on the hamper. Men did a lot more dangerous jobs. When guys, the whole hunter-gatherer model, there was a good chance you might not come home. You either chasing your dinner or you might be dinner to some predator out there. So no one's working as hard as they once did back in the day, but everyone from their perspective saying, oh, I got it so hard. Nobody's working. So really this whole conversation, we're actually disrespecting those who came before us because they had to do a lot more work, men and women. Guys were going into the coal mines, getting emphysema, dying of lung cancer at 40 years old. Just backbreaking work, setting bombs to build.
And those men get told that they beat women and they were putting women in slavery.
And they were drunks. They beat women. They were abusive. Those labels that women give them now.
We take for granted the fact that people are living longer. But again, a lot of these jobs, what built America was a lot of these jobs where guys were dropping dead at 40, 50 years old. So no one is working as hard. So for him to get up there and say, was like men are, women are working so much harder. No one's working much harder. So again, I think just our expectations of what marriage is, we're treating it like a job where we just doing just to put in the 40 hours in. Nobody wants to go all in and be the best and just take pride in that. I just want to be the best at what I do. I want to be the best husband I want to be. I want to be the best wife I want to be. Nobody's doing that. As soon as 3 o'clock, let me ask you a question, Mr. Punch out. It's time to go. Punch out and go home.
And for the record, I'm doing that.
Mandrell, he was asking a question. Hold on.
Go ahead.
No,
Okay, one
one
second. I'm gonna let you cook. Listen, so let me ask you a question, Mr. Bennett. My grandmother, and this is the reason why I like my grandmother talking to a group of women, because my grandmother's lived almost 90 years, and I don't want to have to go to jail, right? Because I don't want nobody to say something back to my grandmother like, y'all was stupid. Why would y'all do that? And then it turns into something else. So I don't want my grandma talking to these new women. However, my grandmother did say something. My grandmother said, baby, I'm gonna challenge her for a second. My grandma said, baby, I don't understand how these women do all this complaining about I'm tired. Ooh, I got so much to do. Ooh, Lord, I gotta go here. I gotta go to work, come home and cook. She said, but I want to compare some things. I said, well, go ahead, Grandma, preach, baby. My grandma say, these women go and punch a button on the stove and set it for $3.50 and put their biscuits in it. She said, I had to go cut wood for a wood stove. She said, I had to go outside and get a washboard to wash my clothes. But these women just throw their clothes in the washer, hit the button, and just walk away from it. She said, I had to hang clothes on the clothesline, but these women throw their clothes in the dryer. She said, I had to go outside and milk the cow, churn the butter with my hands. She said, these women go buy a gallon of milk from Walmart and a 97-cent stick of butter. She said, so what are they so tired of? She said, then on top of that, I had to walk to the grocery store because we didn't have a car. And these women riding in $40,000, $50,000 cars going to the grocery store with air conditioning blowing in their face. She said, so what are they so tired of, grandbaby? I said, ma'am, I don't know what to tell them. I said, come on, I don't know what to tell them.
Well, so Black Man, I could address that. So I think women are tired. I truly believe women are tired, but it's not tired because we're investing in the right things. We're distracted by stuff that don't even matter. Yep, so we're distracted by social media. We talk about things that don't relate to anything. We overwatch TV, but it's so many different things. So we are tired. We're just not as productive.
Right. And so you're thinking that the time spent now is on things that don't make sense, like Atlanta, Housewives of Atlanta, or any reality show, anything like that. That's what you're saying, Instagram and Facebook and things of that nature.
I think social engineering is powerful, bro.
Yeah.
I was chilling with this young lady, right? And she put on this show. And what happened in the show was supposedly the woman had her tubes tied and she ended up getting pregnant. And the man was like, I still want to have, I want to have a baby. And she was like, oh, I already set an appointment for the deletion of the child, right? And I'm not talking about the subject matter. I just want to point something out. That whole show was centered around him being wrong. That whole show was centered around him being the bad guy. Tell me what show you see on TV that actually gives a male perspective. The only thing we have is this space for the most part. So I'm not even trying to, it's not even a comparison thing. It's just that one person side of the story or our needs or our wants get looked at as us fussing and bitching about what we need from a man's perspective, because we just supposed to be able to deal with whatever. You go out there and work 60 hours, because most of the men I know work 40 plus, because I'm in a warehouse city for one. So most of the men I know working 40 plus, you know what I'm saying, doing construction work, doing renovation work. Like, I don't agree with Mr. Bennett when he said we're not working hard, because we are, man. Now we were not working as hard as my granddad and them, because they didn't have
that was my point.
But we but we working a lot of hours. And if you're in a warehouse, even if you're on a forklift, that's concrete. When you hop off that job, that's concrete. That forklift is not comfortable.
Most people don't. The fact of the matter is, you're still using a forklift.
I ain't disagreeing with you, Mr. Bennett. That's not what I meant. What I'm saying, just because we don't grab transmissions and take them out the car with our bare hands, don't mean that we ain't working hard and our body's getting broke down too. Because my uncle is 50, his knees is gone. He ain't 85 years old. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm getting at. It's like, I understand women are tired, even with what they have to do. I get it. I'm all for it. Especially if we doing 50-50, I help around the house. But when I'm weak, when my money's short, and I ain't just talking about me, I'm talking about me in general. I've seen this all my life. We get talked about like dogs. And what that dude did on that video is repeat the same narrative, and it's going to be more popular. Kevin Samuels was an anomaly. That probably will never happen again. What he is will continue to sell, because it's the same old narrative that black men ain't nothing.
Yeah, I see this. because I see a lot of stuff. I see a lot of dust. It has gotten to the point where the default for a man and a woman now is dust. The default thought of marriage and structure or whatever, or relationship is dust. To the point where people can't, like I asked somebody to name on another panel, I asked the person, because they were just going in on marriage this, the woman ain't this, and this was a man. I asked him, okay, give me 5 names of some people who are married successfully. And he couldn't do it. And I was challenging him, stop everything that you're saying and go find me 5. Focus on that for the next 30 days. And it didn't go into his brain. I mean, a lot of the men and women are so far gone nowadays that the conversations can't even go through no more. But you're talking about a cell phone, you're talking about TV. It started, I guess, with radio in the 30s, 40s, then the TV in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s.
Social engineering.
It's to the point they heard something 3,000 times. And then when you got a Kevin Samuels, you got some people coming in space trying to have a regular conversation. The negativity is so deep that the regular messages can't even go in. And I'm not talking about the cook clean and all this, the high value. I'm just talking about, can you just smile and just have a person in your household? Can y'all just work together and do something? Only complain 3 times a week. Can y'all just get there? That's not even reasonable to have a conversation with people about now. They're too far. A lot of them are too far gone.
Let me tell you something, Dusto. I know a guy right now. I'm not going. His name is Jason. He's probably watching. What's up, Jay? Jason is married, and Jason decided after him and his wife went through a whole lot of struggles about roles in the marriage. Jason decided to say, you know what? He came to the fellas. He said, you know what I'm gonna do? He said, my wife seems to have concerns about me not doing enough around the house and me not being there for the kids. When I get off work and you know, he said, I try to come in and relax a little bit. You know, she's a school teacher. He's in the medical field. And so what he did was he came up, and I disagree with it, but it's working for him. So I guess, you know, but anyway, he gave in to the narrative. And what he did was he said, when he come in from work, he do everything. He wash, he dry, he clean, he wash the dishes. He said, even when she tried to do it, he'd be like, no, I got it. Because he don't want to hear no excuses that he ain't doing enough. He said he washed the dishes, dry the dishes, wash the car, take the car, take the kids to practice, pick the kids up. No matter if he even have to do mandatory overtime, he makes time to do all the things that she says wears her out. And even when she tries to do it now, she's upset with him because now she's saying, oh, you're just trying to prove a point. But he's not, but he says, I'm not trying to prove a point. I just don't want to hear that I'm not doing enough. Because sometimes, I said this to somebody today, I don't remember who the hell it was, so many people be calling me. But I said to somebody today, sometimes a man could be doing some stuff, but just because he ain't doing what she want him to do, he ain't doing nothing.
Hey, Black Man,
Your expectation.
do you think that's a communication issue?
Well, no. Well, I think it's this. So let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. I'm picking the kids. Say, for instance, I'm me and Queen Smiling married. I pick the kids up every day. I take them to practice every day. I bring them home from practice. I take them to go get something to eat. I take them over here to basketball. I take them over here to football. I pick them up from band. I pick them up. I do this. I do this. I pick them up, do this. But she wants me to wash and dry clothes. Just because I'm not washing and drying clothes, the other shit I'm doing is not important to her. You get what I'm saying? It's not.
People
I'm not
have
doing
that
what she wants
selective
me to do.
hearing and selective listening.
Right. I'm not doing what she wants me to do. So in her mind, I'm not doing anything.
Can I get in here as well?
Yeah, go ahead.
So let me start by saying I was guilty of this myself. So all throughout my marriage to my wife, I've been the primary worker, right? And so when I would get off work, because I work. I mean, I love to work. And I would tell her, you know, all you got to do is keep the house clean, you know, keep something cooked. This is all you got to do. And so something happened in life where I ended up moving from Illinois back to Texas, and I was without a job for 5 months. It's the only time I've been without work. And so I was affected for 5 months at home with the kids. And I'm like, you know what? This ain't a whole lot to do. Let me get the kids up, make some breakfast, keep stuff clean, get my baby up, because there's a baby at the time, change diapers, put on Caillou, put on something, teach him his ABCs. Bruh, let me tell you something. That stuff ain't as easy as it looks.
Right.
And I say this to say this. A lot of us have terrible expectations because we've never walked in the shoes of the person we're complaining about. And so I say this, ladies, before you tell your man what he's not doing, go take a day and walk in his shoes and see what his life is like, because it might give you an appreciation for what he does. And fellas do the same thing. And I think when we have that, there's a deeper level of appreciation and not mismanaged expectations.
Yeah, I just learned that 6 months ago from a cousin who told me, well, I'm trying to make it short. She told me the expectation, she has 4 children, they've been married. And she's like, when she was, for a short period of time, she was a housewife. And all her husband saw, or what most men see, is you were at home all day. I was out there in them streets. I was out here. I climbed a pole. And all you see is a lazy woman who had all day to get the kids in order. But not understanding that if she was working a job, all she got to do for 8 hours is do enough to get the paycheck and communicate with her lazy supervisor and do better than a lazy coworker there, versus being a housewife, chasing kids, waking up, and your job's 24 hours a day. I didn't understand that till she told me that.
Yeah, I mean, what you guys say are very good points. That's definitely one way, but I mean, I think the vast majority of women are just fucking lazy. They don't want to be wives. They want the marriage, but they want it on their own terms. That's as simple as. Women will flat out tell you that these days. And if they don't come out and tell you, they say, no, that's not what we want. That's what we want. Ask them to describe it to you. And what they describe is exactly that. It ain't a marriage. Those aren't the duties of a wife. Once they describe it to you, you listen. You're like, yeah, that's not gonna work. That's not how this works, sister. The vast majority of them don't want to be wives. They just want to be married. If you're talking about our community, you know what I'm saying? This is another community as well. I'm not just harping on the black community, but yeah, it's a thing because men from other cultures have the same complaints. It's just not as many as ours.
No,
And if I can
this is
jump
what it
in.
is. Just real quick, I'll make this quick. The difference is most of us don't follow other cultures. We follow black culture. I got white friends. I have Asian friends because I lived in Omaha, Nebraska. They go through the same stuff. We just don't follow them, so we don't see it. It's that simple.
Yeah, like I said, we see it in other cultures too. Like I said, I'm not just harping on black people, but we have to accept the fact, because we're not going to be able to change anything until we first accept it. The vast majority of women don't want to be wives. They just want to be married. And they want these things on their terms. Like the guy Black Man was describing, the guy does all this stuff just so you won't hear his wife's mouth. That's insane. My wife is gonna before I do all of that and work 8 hours, she's just gonna have to be pissed off. It's only a matter of time before I'm gonna have to do something about that mouth.
I'm gonna raise my hand like I'm in elementary. Okay. I'm just gonna raise my hand like I'm in elementary.
No, you good, baby. Go ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
I don't want to be rude and cut my black men off because I love my kings and I'll never try to be that rude.
We love you too.
You can cut off Mandrell. That's fine.
What I want to say is, what's so wrong with people being alone? Because I'm listening to and we hear this same dusty conversation. I'm gonna call it a dusty conversation that people fail to move away from. But what's so wrong with being by yourself at times? Because it seems as if people are just marrying and dating wrong. When people show you who they are, and I said this earlier, if you approach a woman, and I'm speaking from a woman's perspective because that's the only way I can come. So if you approach a woman and a woman is not willing to give you that part of her, and she don't want to follow, hey, this is what I need in order for me to thrive in this relationship. What do you need so you can thrive in this relationship? Now let's figure out how we can meet in the middle. If you can't have that honest conversation with a woman and she give you that rah, clap back, this ain't what I'm doing, because I do X. If she giving you all of that from jump, that's not the woman for you.
That's easy to identify. What about, I'm going to ask you something. So
yeah, just her fingernails.
Like that's easy to identify. But my question is, how do you know when a woman is playing the role that you want her to play versus
Guess what?
actually
Time
being
will tell. People can only fake the funk for so long. 6 months, a year in, people can fake the funk. That ain't time wasted. That's learning lessons. When people start showing you themselves and they do it real subtly. I'm tired today. I'm tired today. Baby, you can only be tired 1 or 2 days a week, if that much. You get what I'm saying? And I can only say that because, again, I can only speak for myself. Not only was I married, but I'm also a single parent. Everything that got said in that video, I do all of that. Guess what? I also did all of that when I was married too, and I look forward to the day I have a husband. So guess what? I can do all of that, come home, and I don't care if he done the basics. I don't care if he ain't done nothing. Guess what? After I finish all of that, see, I ain't gonna have no problems, okay? But that's a real woman accepting who she is and being comfortable in who she is because she spent the time to value herself enough that she don't feel small by doing all those things and pleasing her husband. It's a big difference. Y'all just dating wrong.
Can I add something to what you just said?
Wow.
Yes.
I asked my grandmother, and I'm gonna see if I'm gonna see if I can record her. I'm gonna see if I can record my grandmother saying this because she ain't gonna never come on no camera.
It's powerful.
But I asked my grandmother, I said, Grandmama, why? These younger women saying that you crazy for the stuff you did for granddaddy for all them years. Why? My grandmother said, baby, you know what? She said, when you love somebody unconditionally, she said, I love my husband and my children unconditionally. And she said, everything I touch with my hands, I blessed it. And it never caused me any stress or any problems to overdo, to do too much, or to go beyond what I could do, because it was the love that kept me moving, not the fact that I'm doing some old dirty nigga that don't deserve it, or some badass kids that don't deserve it. She said, I did it because I loved them.
When you love your family, when you love your mate, when you love what you do, when you love yourself, you ain't gonna have no issues going over I pride myself on being an overachiever. People ask me all the time, Queen Smiley, when do you sit down? Sylvia, when do you take a break? Why I need to take a break? I ain't tired. I got other stuff to be doing. I volunteer, I do all this stuff, and guess what? I still make time to come on this platform. I still make time to volunteer. I still work late. You don't have to be tired. Why? Because I love what I do and I love who I am. And like your grandmother said, my hands are blessed. Everything that I touch is blessed.
Yes.
Because I have a different mentality.
Right. So let me ask the question. What do you guys say to people? I'm going to start with you, Queen Smiley, and we'll go around the room. What do you guys say to people that say, the women that say, because a lot of, boy, they had me so hot today, I wanted to just strike fire. But what do you say to women that say, oh, those mothers and those grandmothers were stupid? I ain't no way I would have never done no shit like that.
Girl,
what do you, Queen Smiley, go ahead. You go first.
Girl, you out your damn mind. You ain't had nobody. You've never been in love. You never truly loved anybody. And 9 times out of 10, those women that say that don't even know who they are.
Can y'all, how many people up here millennials? I think I might be the only one, right? And
what I don't keep up with what year those
still
people
a millennial, just the old one.
Because I call myself just Sylvia. I don't put myself in nobody's box.
I say that because like something y'all don't seem to understand, older people, y'all truly don't seem to understand is these are not just talking points that some of these ladies have. Now, this is not even about making it about 1-6. I'm just trying to get y'all to understand we live in a different world. Ask Mike. We live in a completely different world. Basically,
I understand both sides. Well, go ahead.
Like, what is it, like 35?
No, you're born in 1980 and to 1996,
I think.
Yeah, like from 1980 to 1996 or some shit like that.
I'm in that bracket.
I would go 90s to 2000.
That explains it, Queen Smiley.
I'm off by 2 years though, but I can bump it up a little.
No, it's more to it than just that.
I didn't say it was just that.
Yeah, so go ahead. So go ahead, Dusto. If you're talking to a young lady and she said, you know what, Dusto, the way your mom treated your dad, because I know your mom and dad are great, right? And the way your mom treated your dad and respect your dad, that shit's stupid. Ain't no way I'll do that shit today. What do you say to a person like that?
But here's the deal. I've graduated from stage 1 trolling to stage 2. I'm no longer trolling. I'm no longer clowning the people who are too far gone. It's a waste of time. I'm done with them. They don't even deserve my trolling anymore. So I'm only willing to have conversations with people that I can actually get something into. And sometimes I got to troll them first to wake them up. But I find it not effective to beat them with the manosphere brick because it doesn't work. I find it more effective at least try to listen to what they have to say because they may not know. They've been told this 58 times.
Damn.
But show them something different. Then if they decide they want to, how can I say it? Show them something different. Just like people say, man, all these women, all these men. No, actually, I grew up.
Bring that back up.
You're talking about.
Bring that back up. I'm going to respond to that.
Yo,
I want everybody to read.
Not right now.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna keep it, but not right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mandrell, what you may be doing is the very thing. And the information, beating them with a brick doesn't work.
Nope.
That's what they do.
So what would you say, Dusto, though? What would be your response to
what works?
I'm just asking some more questions. Okay, well, how was it? What really happened? What was it? And then get them to talking. Well, these men this. Oh, really? Well, let me show you something different. Because actually, these men were doing this and they were doing some of this and some of this. Well, today these men all out here cheating. No, actually, let me show you how it really is. Oh no, the men are all lit. No, actually, let me show you how it. Have you ever asked your father? Did you talk to your uncle? Did you ask his side of the story? Just ask the question. Sometimes
I don't need his side of the story.
Yeah, that's an 8 out of 10. But 1 or 2 out of 10 might actually listen, and you can get something into their brain if you ask a couple more questions and just show something. That's all we're supposed to be responsible for. Because I consider everybody on this panel the next level up from just the people in the spaces that just want to yell and fight all day.
Yeah, right. Now, Mr. He said, let me get you in here. What are your thoughts in that circle of women that say, hey, listen, those women back in the day, the 70s, the 60s, the 50s, they crazy. But when they were crazy, ain't no way.
Yeah, I would respectfully disagree, only because of I was one of those children. I was raised by my grandmother. I lost my mom when I was 9 years old. I never knew my dad. So grandma had to step in and do her thing. And what I would say to modern women is they did a lot more with a lot less. My grandmom left, the family a house. And a lot of other grandmoms and granddads left families property because they were grassroots. They were blue collar. They put their boots to the ground. They worked with what they got, and they were appreciative of the lifestyle, whether it was upper or realistic. And I think that's the difference, that, everybody wants to live above their means. And I think sometimes, they did a lot more with a lot less. And now women have a lot more education. They have a lot more options as far as profession and money, but they're not leaving their children any property. They're not leaving their children any legacy. So I think that that's the difference. And, to say that those women weren't smart is a little insensitive. They walk the path for you to follow. To ignore that can be a little insensitive to the millennium that alluded to our age. I wouldn't disagree wholeheartedly, but what I would say is that I think the difference between, us older generation and the younger millennials is that understanding that family, that community, that structure, was a necessary guiding force in those rites of passage to make you go from a child to an adult. And sidestepping those things are going to lead us to where we are today. But this is a great discussion. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And so, to add on what you said, that's what I'm gonna start asking people, Mr. He said. I'm gonna start asking them. When you say these women are stupid, like my grandmother, for instance, my grandmother dies today. If God forbid, Lord have mercy, but they have obtained so many rental properties, land, houses. Hell, Queen Smiley, my grandma owned half of Booker T. You know it. Queen Smiley, me and her from the same town. She knows it. My grandmama owned half a whole damn neighborhood.
Mine got half of Sugar Hill.
Yeah, right. So when my grandmother passes along, God forbid, not now, Lord, please hold her just a little bit longer. But everybody in the family will be receiving some land, some acreage, a rental property or something. So when these women say, like my grandfather worked on the pipeline for 38 years. And he would leave home. My grandma was saying, you need to be here with these babies to tuck these girls in. My granddad was gone 3-4 months at a time. In Alaska, putting down pipe. In Colorado, putting down pipe.
I bet he was.
You stupid.
I was trying not to
He's
think
so
about
stupid.
that.
But I'm just saying, then he
Just
told
like
me,
a nigga.
he said, grandson, he said, this is what I did. He said, I took $10 out of each check and I sent the other $1,490 to your grandmother. And my grandmother got that money, paid the bills, saw property. My grandfather said he would come home. My grandma would say, this is the property you were talking about. They would go and buy it. And he bought a little bit here and a little bit there. And 38 years later, he owned half a damn neighborhood. He owned properties. He owned deer leases in the country. Right?
So,
and he had something to leave. So I'm gonna start asking these ladies, you saying these women were stupid, but what do you have to leave your children?
I got something I want to ask the man and the lady.
Not even a car.
Not even a car. Come on.
So I just want, this is what I'm saying, because I actually believe in the old traditional way.
I do too.
That's what.
But if you look, what I want to ask, let me not say what I want to say. Let me ask the question. Do y'all believe with the modern relationship in 50 years, will we be worse off than our grandmothers and grandfathers, or will we be better off?
Oh, worse, way worse.
It depends on the perspective you're looking at.
Worse.
For family.
For family, we'll be worse off. Families will be definitely broken and hurting. Families will be hurting, but depending on the way of the world, economics, depending on that, we may be better off because we can acquire so many things now, but what we're doing with those assets is not fruitful. So for families, we'll be worse off, but people will have more cash flow.
Worse off because there's not even families to begin with. It's just kids and people all out in the street. There's not even families.
Yeah.
What you thinking, Hank? You think we'll be worse off?
Shit, we already there now.
Yeah.
I mean, we fight every black YouTube show is a fight
for no reason
amongst the sexes. Every YouTube show is a fight amongst the sexes. So we already there. What we're talking about.
Facts.
That 50 years, we don't have to go 50. Shit, look at 2022 right now. We dealing with it.
Minutes.
Yep. And we did
it. I would hate to see it get worse.
Yeah.
I would hate that. Now, as certain individuals, are they going to be having these issues? No, they're not, because you're going to still have dudes that's not going to stand for it or tolerate it. I'm going to definitely teach my son not to stand for it or tolerate it.
Absolutely.
And I hope you guys who do have sons
absolutely
to do the same.
Yes, sir.
If not, he's in it for a long and hurtful life.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, a lot of heartache he's in for. Hank. If we don't teach him,
absolutely.
And then they're gonna end up either black pill or incel. You know what I'm saying, or MGTOW, whatever that is. I'm still not sure what that is.
And even my 10-year-old, by the time my 10-year-old get up into the age where he want to start dating now, Lord have mercy, he's so in love with Shushu. I had the time to son, you can't go listen. But anyway, he has a huge crush on Shushu. But anyway, I tell my son, by the time he get 15, 16, want to start dating, it's going to get to the point, ladies and gentlemen, that you're going to have to tell your kids to start asking for birth certificates before they date. You got kids right now as early as 10 and 11 years old getting sex changes. Come on, so, listen, we got to talk. This is the elephant in the room. You got parents allowing it, right? You got 10 or 11-year-old kids getting sex changes, right? You got and you don't know if it's a boy or a girl, so you got to have your son. Hey, son, when you date a girl, before you like her too much, just ask her, hey, listen, baby, where's your identification? Where's your birth certificate? What does that say? And it sounds funny now, but it's getting to that point because so many young men want to be women now. So many of them are growing up, and the mamas are encouraging it. Look at my baby. Just if you don't believe me, just go down your timeline on your social media. Little boys on
men encouraging this shit too.
Well, you absolutely right. Go down, yeah, you sure right. Go on down, little boys on the damn stripper poles, and the mama saying, "Yeah, baby, get on that, yeah, swing that pole, yeah." And I'm like, if the daddy was there, he should just knock her down the stairs.
I'll slap him and her.
You know, why would you want your child to be a male to be on a pole? But again, we're selling this notion that you can be who you want to be. You don't have to identify. I have a person right now that I'm friends with. They just had a baby, and she said we're not going to give the baby a gender until the baby's old enough to decide what the gender is. I haven't talked to him since it's been 6 months. And, because I'm thinking to myself, so what are you going to put on the birth certificate? We're going to allow I haven't talked to him in 6 to 7 months. I swear to God.
Sir, did you see the video of the two trans people trying to milk a baby, and he couldn't milk him because he's a dude, and then that they're actually they can't get Social Security and all stuff for the baby because they can't identify the sex. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's like,
this
I
is
can't
what she
give no
told
milk.
me.
You're a dude.
Queen Smiley, this is what she told me. I said, "Oh, the little girl's so cute." She said, "Don't call her that. Don't call it that." I said, "What you gonna call it?" She said, "We're going to allow the baby when it gets older to make the decision of what gender it is." I said,
Stop laughing.
No guidance, no direction.
Mr. He said, "I haven't
no
talked to him.
structure.
I haven't talked to him in 6 months."
You be your own people.
And that baby's still walking around here with overalls on one side and dressed on the other side. What the fuck?
What hospital allowed this stuff to happen?
What the fuck are you doing? Mr. He said, "I'm telling you, the baby walking around with a Chucky outfit on one day, with the princess outfit on another day, got a cooking thing over here, got Transformers over here. Goddamn, y'all.
Oh, wait. Wait, hold on. I got a question. What man would allow his child, if it's a boy, to wear a dress?
She's married.
It's a boy, right?
It's a girl.
It's a girl.
She's married.
Okay, hold on a thing. And she's married. What husband would allow his wife?
That's somebody else's baby. She just ain't told him.
If it's somebody else's baby, I'll understand that.
That's not it. You know what he said? He disagrees with it, and he says, "Hey man, I disagree with it. I don't agree."
No. Listen. He's
on the other end because he called the baby she. He said, "That's my daughter." When he posted, he said, "It's my baby girl." Blah blah blah. And what's going to end up happening? That marriage going to do this.
Oh yeah,
because she's a firm believer in it, not her, not she.
These are white people, right?
They're black. Go and get your Guinness World.
You see? Hold on. So see. Hold on. Wait, hold on. No. I asked to make a point.
Throw it on our titty pinks.
I asked to make a point. No, Sir Hale, if you're still watching, like I told you, this shit is over. It's over. Now that we've adopted that bullshit too, it's over. There is no black community, and it ain't coming back.
But there are men who are afraid of their wives. There are men who are afraid of their wives.
Help me out here, bro. I'm lost.
Go ahead.
We've been adopting that shit.
He's spritzing them.
You've been that gays in your family ever since you know.
Hey, put that picture back up, black man. You see this, people? These two Caucasians here who pretend to be black. These two minstrels right here. The fact that you got black people who support these two coons, that tells you it's over. One's a billionaire because his white. Once he became a billionaire, he didn't marry a black woman. He married a white one.
Tune in to Mandrell.
Listen, hey, Mandrell, they don't support that lifestyle.
Huh?
They do not support that lifestyle.
That's something you got in common, right?
Blackity black is the boy.
Hold on, let me listen.
Like
we don't support that lifestyle.
Kanye don't support that shit.
He don't.
Hell no. Not at all. Zero.
No, of course not. He's a jigaboo. So that's not even important. What lifestyle he support.
I see you.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying he don't support his kids, boys being in dresses and girls being in like he don't.
Well, good for Sambo. All right, but he's Steven from Django.
Okay, hold on, guys. So Mandrell will be talking about this on his show Wednesday.
Oh,
so
it's going to be a whole
Wait,
show.
wait. What did you say his name was from Django?
What'd you call him? From Django.
Steven?
Yeah, Samuel Jackson character, Steven.
Wait, somebody echoing. Somebody echoing in the back.
Not me.
All right. So again, I just wanted to put out there that, like the other day, I saw a video and I sent it to Security Boss. Security Boss said, I just fell out my chair. Security Boss, it was a little girl. I think she was 12 years old. They said, do you want to have kids? She said, yes. They said, do you want to be married? She said, no. They said, why? She said, because if I'm married, I can't get child support.
Hear that, Sir Hale? You hear what they're teaching the children?
Listen,
it's
now,
over.
I'm going to say it again because we're going to do a reaction on this next Monday. The little girl, they did a little interview with the girl, little black.
I couldn't get child support.
They said, hi, little girl. Hi. She about 12. They say, do you want to have children one day? She said, yes. They said, do you want to get married? She said, no. The interviewer said, why? She said, because I can't get child support.
Yeah. My thing is this.
12 years old, Hank.
She learned it from my mother.
She learned it from her mama. Now, the Sosa, I don't know what your deal is, but I think you're trolling. If you're not trolling, you're a fucking weirdo.
Now, don't talk to the Sosa like that. She always over here supporting this channel. She's from Switzerland.
Don't do that.
But she said some weird stuff in the chat. I don't understand her.
Shout out to the chat for always keep the conversation going.
Hey, Mandrell. Shout out to the chat. Mandrell, where were you realize the brick beating with the brick doesn't work?
From Hank first. Hank, give me final thoughts, man. Hank, let's get Hank in here to get his final thoughts before he get out of here. All right, let me get my boy Hank on the big screen here because I know he's gonna drop some dimes before he leaves.
He got shit to do.
Go ahead, Hank.
Well, look here, my cliche saying after every show, man. Black man, please, black man, protect yourself at all times.
Yes.
Take care of yourself. Get your mental right. Sign up for a Zoom meeting or couch sit down. Do what you have to do. Please get your blood work checked. You know, heart disease is the biggest killer amongst us black people, so definitely do that. Get your colonoscopy, get your prostate checked. Please do what you got to do. We want to keep you black men around here as long as we can so we can conquer the world one day. So y'all keep doing what y'all do. Hey, man, nothing but love. Stay strong, fellas.
All right, man. Hey, brother Hank, man. Hey, good show on Sunday too, brother Hank, man. That was a real good show, bro.
Thank you, brother. Keep coming back, baby.
Damn good show.
Every Sunday, brother. I'll be listening to you while I'm in church. Hallelujah. What the heck?
Right on. Drop a little something in the plate for me.
Absolutely, brother. All right, man. Thank you so much for being here, my brother. I appreciate you, man.
You got that. Right
on. All right. Queen Smiley, what you got for us tonight, baby?
Yeah. So, for the sake of the topic, our grandmothers and mothers were not crazy. They did their role, and it's our job to claim our seats. Women, if you're lacking and your man packing, and you ain't doing what you supposed to do, don't be mad when you go holler at old boo boo. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's just it.
Amen.
So,
Amen.
Wear your crowns and wear them well.
Amen. Thank you so much, Queen Smiley. Hey, y'all about to listen to Queen Smiley. She tried to listen the other night. I want to thank you, Queen Smiley, for leading that Tuesday. A couple of Tuesdays ago, they did the all women's panel. She said got on there and killed the game. So thank her
Shout
for
out
being
to the
on there as
queen,
well. Her
Miss
husband's on here tonight, Queen Smiley. But one of the things from that show, they got real popular real quick, and a lot of dudes inbox me, man, who is that chick? I've never seen a togetherness like I did on that show when the girl said the only time you should argue is when your husband's penis is in your mouth.
Yeah. Anytime you need to have a tough conversation, that's the time to have it.
Lord have mercy.
Either right before sex or right after.
It's that
old corner of the chest pillow talk. That's where it go down there right there. Right there. Anything while you rub on that old stomach. Don't let him have a little stomach. That's Jesus. Get a lot of stuff done.
Okay,
Leading a great mind. Shout out to Jedi. Mr. Bennett, no. Mr. Bennett, no. Where she be at? Where that queen be at? Baby, let me tell you something.
She's ready for me after this call.
You hear me? I can't wait. Ooh, I'm trying to be like Mr. Bennett when I grow up.
Mr. Bennett said she waiting after the call to rub that bald head. Yeah. All right. So thank you so much, Queen Smiley. You're always so lovely and always so
blessings.
You're just
People,
a blessing.
I tell you.
You're just a blessing to everything that we do here. So I appreciate you so much, hon.
You're most welcome. I want to say this before I go. We
Yes.
got to stop arguing back and forth with one another, men versus women, and all of this good stuff. We got to get away from these dusty conversations and start moving forward. And the only way we can move forward is have the true, honest conversation with the people that we're dating. I'm not asking anybody to vet anybody because people can fake the funk as long as they choose to. But if you truly know yourself and love yourself, you know what you will and won't stand for, you'll start seeing people for who they truly are and have an opportunity to move forward without that individual if need be. We ain't so desperate that we can just deal with whatever just for the sake of having somebody by our sides. Sometimes we need to take the time to ourselves to truly get what we want in life. So patience is a virtue. Love yourself enough to be patient with yourself so you can have exactly what you want in life. So God bless y'all. Good night.
And so do me a favor, Queen Smiley, before you go.
Yes,
smile for the camera. Look at this beautiful black woman. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Give it up. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Good night.
All right. We got the Dusto from the Dustosphere in here tonight. Dusto, give me your final thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen the Dustosphere, please come over here on Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time and watch the Dustosphere. Here it is right here. Here's the thumbnail for it. Come over and watch the Dustosphere on the Black Man Unfiltered Network at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Last week the special guest was Dr. L. Macaroni. Here he is right here. Dr. L. Macaroni was the last guest last week, and so we look forward to having the Dustosphere again this Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Dusto, give us your final thoughts.
Yeah, last Thursday's show was fire. Shout out to OJJ Speed. That was, and Jenny Marine and everybody who came and supported.
Absolutely.
But, real talk, get below the surface level. Anybody can say, I'm a man, you're a woman, you do this. Robot talk. Hey, the modern women are dusty. Modern men stink. We all know these things. What can we do to better communicate? Can we increase our communication from level 1 to level 2 to level 3? 80% of these, 90%, they ain't listening. Let's be real. We know this. But stop wasting time beating them to death with a brick. They said no. But the 10 and 20% that are actually willing to listen, when we become better communicators, show better examples and show something to get them to listen, even if you just plant a seed. It's needed. It's got to be done. But is a community and whatever done? Yeah, it's been rotisserie. It's dead. But it's survival mode time. So the blackety black talk and the this and the that and it's survival mode. People need to take care of their faith, their family, their fitness, and the basic things to be able to come out here and survive and to communicate and work with the person to the left and the right. They weren't taught how to do so. Can we teach them and can we talk to them about one basic thing, then 2 basic things, then 3, and just be able to move forward tomorrow versus what they had yesterday? That's all I got, except for dust.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for yours truly. The Dusto is in the building tonight. Again, check Dusto out every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you so much, Dusto, for being a part of the Black Man Unfiltered Network. Also a member of the network as well. I appreciate you, my guy, for everything that you do, man. All right, man, my guy, Mr. He said in the building, dropping dimes. He done dropped enough dimes tonight to get a down payment on a mansion in Beverly Hills. What's up, my guy? Give me your final thoughts.
Thank you for having me, man. It's always a pleasure coming over here. It's always fun. And the conversation is always insightful. And I appreciate you, man, for inviting me. Appreciate you for having me. Appreciate you for being you, for standing on your square, for having this platform for us to come and talk, express our feelings, emotions, and conversation, and, be able to do that. So thank you, my brother. Thank you to all my brothers. I learned from each and every last one of y'all. Y'all are an inspiration to a young, old fella like me. And, I'll be back as much as I am invited and as much as you will have me. So thank you. Thanks again, man. Appreciate y'all.
That'll be a lot, bro. I'll be reaching out to you, man. I see you got Charles Barkley on the wall back there with O'Neal, huh? Them your and I see Jordan back there too. Okay, I see you, boy. I see you back there on the wall, man. I see you. Hey, listen, who you think was the toughest out of the three, though? Give me your toughest before you go.
I'll take MJ just because he was clutch. You know, whenever you need it, he had it. And that's how we need to be as men. If we can, you know, you miss every shot you don't take, fellas. So be willing to take that shot because that's the only way you become Jordan.
Absolutely.
Greatest of all time.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. He Said, man. Ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Mr. He Said, one more thing, man. One more thing. Tell them how they can see you on your platform, brother. You and your wife, Miss He Said and She Said. Tell them about your platform, brother.
Yeah, we are He Said, She Said, Love and Abundance every Thursday, 8 o'clock here on YouTube. And Saturday, I come through with my version of The Shot for us fellas. And that's the to be determined time because Friday nights are to be determined as well. And the missus is always on Sundays at 1 o'clock with Shame because we need to bring shame back. We need to make shame a thing. And she is not shy about letting these young ladies know where they can do better and do different. So that's us, man. He Said, She Said, Love and Abundance. And we love everybody in abundance.
All right, man. Love you so much, brother. Have a good night, man. All right, the 5100 CJ in the bit. All right, what's up, boy? What's your final thoughts, man?
My final thoughts. I don't want to argue. What the fuck?
Look at God.
Go ahead. You don't want to what? Go ahead.
Look at God.
Now you ain't see what just happened.
No, I didn't.
I'm scared to talk now.
Go ahead.
All right. So look, you know, I want y'all to understand something about me. Some people don't care about the black community. Some people don't care about black men and black women being together. I'm so passionate about these conversations because I do. I ask questions more than I talk, if y'all ever noticed that about me. I ask questions because I want to figure this out. I'm looking at my generation and I'm seeing where we're going. And I'm one of those guys that really mean I'll die about this shit. So for the older brothers on the panel, and which pretty much everybody but Mike, I listen to every single word y'all say. And I'm asking questions because I'm trying to learn how to be a step better than you when I get to your age. Because I want to keep carrying the torch. That's all I got, man.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Tell them how they can reach you. Also, tell them when your show's on so they can go ahead and support and like and subscribe over there at the 5100, my brother.
So, yeah, you can catch us at the 5100 Podcast, 5100podcast.com. And we go live every Saturday. We probably going to change it because I think JT goes live around the same time. So we've been thinking about moving it up so we don't interrupt his slot so we can come support him too. But for right now, it's 8 p.m. Central Standard Time every Saturday for Saturday Night Fire. You feel me? That's
Absolutely.
all I got.
Yeah, and then
all right, appreciate you, my brother, man. Go and subscribe to the 5100. All right, Mandrell disappeared. I don't know what happened to him. All right, thank you, CJ, for coming in, man. You have a good night, my brother. See you in the back if you're gonna stay for a little bit. All right, Mr. Bennett in the building.
Thank you for having me once again. Just a couple points I want to make on the way out. One is that, you know, we have to understand people live at the level of their expectation, and their expectations are set by what's before them. So when we're comparing generations, when we talk about, you know, when people today think it's so hard or whatever, it's all about what they're seeing and what they're exposed to. So a lot of people don't know about what their grandmothers or grandfathers had to do back in the day to make ends meet. They don't know about those things, you know. So we can share the stories with them, but until they go through and experience themselves, or when they see their peers around them doing the same thing, then it's never going to register with them. So to a point, it can be fruitless sometimes to carry on the argument with some of these folks. But again, for brothers like, you know, 100 who was just on here, you know, young people want to learn. That's, you know, those are the guys who we need to reach in these spaces. The last thing I wanted to say in regards to, someone said earlier about vetting, and just for someone who's been married for a long time, even your best vetting right? You still have to understand that people will change. See, a lot of what happens in these marriages where the person's going to say, oh, they get fed up with the work, or they, people change over time. You have your honeymoon phase, you have your kids phase or whatnot. People's expectations tend to change. And that is why you have to constantly work on your marriage all the time. As I've been saying recently, I'm on year 26 of my marriage at this point. Not that I've been married for 25 years. I've put that out of my vocabulary. This is year 26, and it's like none other year that I ever had. So I have to work on myself all the time. My wife, she has to work on herself all the time. We have to constantly work at this thing to stay engaged. How do we stay passionate for one another? How do we, continue to be faithful to one another? We have to ask ourselves this question all the time. So even if you might have vetted her and she checked off all the boxes for you, you still gonna, and for Brother Mike, that's for you. When you find that woman that you're gonna marry, she may check off all those boxes. That's still your white belt. Using the martial arts, that's still your white belt.
That's powerful.
You gotta get the green belt, your brown belt, your black belt. You gotta put the work in still. All you're doing is you're just working with just raw material. You just want to make sure that the raw material is good. But then there's still the refining process. And everybody needs to be refined, and that comes through pressure, through work, through trials and tribulations, through that's why it says for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health. So these are the things that we have to understand. So even your best vetting, that's when your work begins, not that your work is over. So just keep that in mind for those who are looking to be married or looking at that relationship. That's when the work actually starts, not when it ends. And if you start to think that, okay, we on autopilot at this point, that's when things go wrong.
Right.
So we have to be mindful of the work. I have to remind myself every day. I've been working remotely for the past 2 years. And so what I used to think was work, now work is getting out of bed, literally to come to this computer and log in. But that's not the work that I did even 2 years ago. Or, certainly what ancestors did years ago.
Right.
So we all live through our experience. We have expectations through our experiences, how we see things. So this is not, somebody can look at what I'm doing right now and say, this isn't work, but this is how I make a living since, being in front of this computer all day. But for others, it was a different world. And so I respect my ancestors for what they did. And certainly laying the foundations that I can have a better life and future. We need to still pay forward to the generation that comes after us, but still keep the connections for the generations to understand this is still a world where, again, the way I was taught as a Black person, I got to work twice as hard to get half as much. And that's something I'd say to my girls also. You still got to go out there. Yeah, you think since Obama, no, you still have to work hard. We're not in a period of racial harmony. This last 4 years told you that.
Right.
So the battle still continues. Don't lose sight of it. Keep grinding, keep doing what you need to do. But for Black men and Black women, let's get together because it's important. We need each other. And the faster we can understand that we're better together than different, then our community, our world will be much better off. We'll do a lot more together. So that's all I had. Thank you for the time, Black man. Thank you for the invitation. And God willing, I'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Absolutely. Tomorrow night, man, we're talking about the education system. Needs to be thrown in the trash can. Hey, listen, I found something, Mr. Bennett, that I'm going to play tomorrow night that's going to blow your mind.
Okay.
This guy broke down the education system and how, it's just, I can't wait till tomorrow night, man, and get your perspective on that. So thank you so much for being here tonight, and we'll see you definitely on tomorrow. Everybody, Mr. Bennett. All right, Jedi Mike, thank you for being here tonight, and happy belated birthday to you as well, my brother.
Thank you. Can you hear me, bro?
I can hear you.
All right, great. Yeah, no, I should know, Mr. Bennett. Thank you for your words, though. Because again, for me, I know at least like my milestones, which I know I'm going to be achieving in life, is really right around the corner. But again, the work doesn't stop until you propose or you get the certificate of marriage and license. No, that's what it continues to endure. Because then, much as like this world been Disney-fied, there's no fairy tales in marriage, because the main thing for some folks is a horror story. But sometimes for horror stories, you survive. So like again, And that's the thing, the key thing about enduring. About the whole thing in scripture, love is patient, love is kind, and we keep skipping the word patient. We keep skipping over the things that ask us to endure through hard times. And again, even relationships too. Again, the modernism of terms of these talking points of like the things that you want is not what you need. These violent delights will have violent ends, and for you women, you don't really know that you basically are creating a bottomless pit that you're going to be staying in because you yourself created it. Again, for the men too, you choose what you want, who you want to be with. You also choose the lifestyle you want to live. Again, life is about sacrifices, choices, and trade-offs. Again, you have to understand it's like you're not gonna have it. It's not like Burger King. You can't have it your way sometimes. And sometimes your way is not the way that should be intended. And I just encourage folks to be come with grace in terms of that, especially in terms on the men's side. When you see this man, the dude in this video, obviously, I think he's full of it. His intentions are not pure. Again, these Instagram quotes, the people of my generation want to take it off instantly and call it, make it gospel. But I know the true gospel call us to be endure, call us to crucify our flesh, to self-reflect daily, to actually repent, to actually seek forgiveness, change our lifestyles, in order to move in a sense of, hey, listen, we're going to see this behavior, we're going to call it out, and we're not going to condone it no more in the Black community. We're not going to set mediocrity as a standard, no more in relationships. But again, thank you, Black men, for having me. Again, the education thing, I'd like to see how I can probably be on that, though. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thank you. Wish me happy birthday and stuff. Just hit 24, so the brain is almost fully developed, almost so close. But yeah. I appreciate y'all.
I do want to say this. Sometimes life is just like Michael Myers and Laurie Strode. He chased her for 40 years, and it came to a point where they both had to be together. They both had to die together, and so he chased her for so long, and so many other people suffered because all he wanted to do was just be with Laurie Strode. Ladies and gentlemen, Jedi Mike in the building. All right, let's get the little guy in here. Mandrell. Mandrell, what are your final thoughts, my guy?
My final thoughts is that it seems like no matter how much evidence people present, like we can give some people example after example after example of good men, who are single, got their act together, ready for marriage, a committed covenant marriage, and we can show them example after example after example of people in good marriages, fantastic marriages, and they'll tell these people, hey, this is what we do, this is how it works, it's fantastic, this and the other, but people don't listen. That's ultimately the problem, Black man. They want the marriage, they don't want to be wives. So the real question is, women who want to be married, how do we convince you to be wives? And if you're a man out there and you're looking for a wife, if you find a woman that you have to convince to be a wife, she's not worth your time at all. You know what I mean? And even people who came from rough backgrounds, single motherhood, or abusive homes, you can't let those experiences of your past affect how you operate in the world today, because you probably walked right past 10 fantastic guys who would have been outstanding matches for you, but you're so stuck with your blinders on that you walked right past them. You paid no attention, but then you still blame men for this, that, and the other, and you completely ignore the fact that you're complicit in the destruction of our community. Well, it was our community. Join me, when is it, Wednesday? Black man?
Yes.
Yeah, join me Wednesday.
Central Standard Time.
Well, I've been looking for an answer, people. I want you to help me understand this. What is the Black community's fascination with coons, minstrels, sambos, porch monkeys, Uncle Toms? Okay, cool. I'll stop. Okay. What is your fascination with them, and why do you make excuses for them? I don't understand it. I really, truly do not. because this is something that, I mean, this is how you know we were truly done, Black Man. When they excuse buffoonery and give grace to people who don't deserve it and mean you no good and have no intentions on improving the community in any way. They made it abundantly clear, and I don't get it. So people, please, if you can help me understand this, tell your friends, tell your loved ones to come and join us on Wednesday for Unapologetic with Mandrell, because Mandrell has a conundrum. I don't understand Black people's fascination and acceptance for buffoonery, coons, niggers. Again, I could go on and on, but all of them. Y'all love that shit. And you wonder why you...
Ladies and gentlemen, it looked like Mandrell, you froze up on us. The Sosa said,
I don't know what's wrong with the internet connection, man.
She said,
I don't know.
But the Sosa, I promised I won't be in the chat that day.
No, the Sosa, your mind is so dynamic and outside the box, you are required to be here Wednesday. I need that kind of, listen, if he was going to figure it out, it'll be her. She thinks outside the box. We're going to need that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mandrell, y'all see him at tomorrow night on Talk That Talk Tuesday, dropping some dimes. And then you also see him Wednesday night for Unapologetic with Mandrell and Shushu. Him and his baby sister will be on at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, talking about Kanye and Kun.
Kundis Owens and Kanye West. We're gonna be talking about them. We're also gonna throw in a little what's called that? The neurosurgeon, Ben Carson.
Yeah,
might throw in a little of that.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mandrell. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been another great show. Thank you so much for being here. We couldn't do anything without you. The chat is undefeated. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for all the super chats. If you gave a Cash App, thank you for that as well. I appreciate each one of you. While I'm speaking right now, if you do want to give a Cash App and get your boy a cup of coffee for tomorrow and a biscuit, go ahead and put something in the Cash App. We're scrolling at the bottom of the screen while I finish. But guys, thank you so much. It is important that we respect our elders. To respect the ones that deserve to be respected. The mothers and grandmothers of the past were not stupid, right? They were not stupid because they built so many things with our grandfathers. They built so many things with our uncles. And so they have land and they have properties and they had love and they struggled and they got through their struggles. And these women were with men that were broke and broken. And they still survived 60 years of marriage, 50 years of marriage, 30 years of marriage. My mom and dad have been married for 39 years. This year on Christmas Day, it'll be 39 years. If my grandfather was still alive, my grandfather and my grandmother would be married for 73 years, but he passed away, right? My aunt and my uncle have been married for 29 years. That's a lot of longevity in my family of married people who made it work even when the man was not so lovable. They love him anyway. And my grandmother, let me tell you something my grandmother said. My grandmother said, when I was not able to love your grandfather, when he did some things that made me mad, upset me, she said, I asked God, hey, listen, while I'm mad at him and I can't love him the way I want to love him right now, I need you to love him through me. And she said she allowed God to love him through her until she got back where she needed to be. See, right now, women want to take girls' trips to get away from their man. They want to leave the house and go move back in with mama. They want to break the family down. They want to separate from their husbands. But back then, my grandmother said, she simply said, God, right now, he's not lovable. And I'm not strong enough to love him right now, but I'm not going to leave him. I'm not going to move back in with my mom. I'm not going to tell my homegirls. I'm not going to get on social media and down this man. I'm not going to talk about him to my mom and them. I'm going to ask God to love him through me. And my grandmother said every time she asked God to do that, he would do it. And 63 years later, they were still together before he passed away. We sit and argue and we be divided in marriage and divided in relationships, but why? God did not make two dicks for one household. He made one. The man is the strength. The man's the strength. He's strong. He's the leader. He's the provider. But when we get it mixed up at, nobody can ever show me in the Bible where it says that a woman should not have to work. The Bible says that a man goes out and work, but the woman goes out and finds a field and she buys it and she also works. They said she also sells things. They said the woman is like a merchant ship. Right? She comes up with these creative ideas to have other streams of income coming in. So she finds if she's sewing over here and she's selling over here and she's doing this over here, she's bringing that income into her husband, and her husband's delegating that money where it needs to go. So there's nowhere in the Bible that it says a woman sits at home and does nothing. The Bible says that the woman works and sells, and she's creative as well as the man going out and working, and they bring those things together and they build their family, they build their children. But we're so divided because everybody's out of place. The woman wants to be the man wants to be the woman. You got men that's gay, that's married with kids. You got women that's lesbians, that's married to men. Listen, if that's what you want, make your decision, go do that. But for the marriages that are together right now, or people who are engaged to be married, that are about to be married, you got to understand that when you get married, do you see the clear skies? But you got to know there's a storm in the forecast. And when that storm comes, you got to be in a house that has a solid foundation, not built on sand, but built on a solid concrete foundation. So when the wind comes in the houses, they have something called hurricane latches in the house, where if the winds get too strong, it keeps the roof down. I'm asking you right now in your marriage and in your relationships, no matter how hard it gets, to put those hurricane straps on your relationship. And when the storm comes, and when that wind comes, and when those waves come to knock you down, when the water recedes, when the roads get repaired, and everything around you starts to look beautiful, you're still standing because you're prepared for the storm. Put on the whole armor of God and let nothing separate you from it. Be ready and understand. A lot of people, listen, I ain't trying to preach tonight, but a lot of people believe in God, but they don't believe God. Because what happens is you believe God, I believe in him, but do you believe in him enough to change your situation, to change your circumstances, to put you in the right situation, right? Do you believe him to be the one that'll make your marriage and your relationship work, bring your kids back together, give your kids common sense, give your husband some sense that he was lacking, give you the sense you were lacking? Because what we have to understand, ladies, this is for you first. Men, I'm gonna go to men first. Men, lead and do that. If you don't know how to lead, your father didn't show you how to lead, and your father wasn't loving enough, because all of us had those dads that didn't say that they loved us, but we knew it. But if you didn't have that leadership, then get in a fortified circle of men that will lead you and journey you. Have a prayer life, have a relationship, that one-on-one relationship with God. So when you walk, you're walking in favor, but you're also walking with that fortified circle of men that can help and guide you through the right direction. Women, stop talking to your homegirls and telling your homegirls that your man ain't shit. Because you have to understand, even if you're married, if your man ain't shit, you ain't shit, because God created you to be the shit for him. God created you to be the helpmate. You are to help. The word help means to assist. So if your man ain't where he needs to be at in life, and he's struggling and striving, and you over telling your homegirl that your man ain't shit, well, you ain't shit either, because you attached to him at the hip, because you made a commitment to be with him through sickness and in health, for richer or for poor, through all the good stuff that's in the vows. So, in saying that, if your man ain't shit, you ain't shit, because you're his assistant. If your company go bankrupt, that means you lose too, because your husband is the company. You are his helpmate. You are his bookkeeper. You are the person that's supposed to have his back, not go behind his back and talk about him. So stop dragging your man and help your man. Be what your man needs. If you can't be what your man needs, then unplug, disconnect from the Wi-Fi, and allow him to go get 5G somewhere else where the communication's clear, and he can move a little faster and get what he needs on time. Allow the men to flourish, and if you're holding him back because you refuse to do it because of what mama said, you refuse to do it because what auntie said, you refuse to do it because my friends didn't say it, and everybody that's telling you not to do it is the grandmama sitting in the house miserable, ain't had a man in 50 years. Your sister sitting in the house miserable, ain't had a man in 10 years. Some of them living together, and they miserable, and they want to see you miserable because misery loves company. I ain't trying to preach tonight. I'm just trying to tell you the truth. I'm done because I don't want to do too much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. It's been a good day. And to the men out there, I do want to say this. I had a conversation today with a group of men that I trust and I love with all my heart. Man, I love them to death. They're my brothers. Men, if you're out there and you have a mental issue, go get help for your mental illness. If other people are telling you they see something that you don't see, go and get it checked anyway. Mental health is one of the biggest things that our culture of people, our Black men and women, do not participate in getting the mental help that we need. We have men out here stalking women, virtually stalking women, physically stalking women, finding information on women and trying to drag women. Yes, do we hold women accountable here at Black Man Unfiltered? Absolutely. But we cross the line when it affects a woman's life, when it affects a woman's lifestyle. Yes, it's one thing to hold a woman accountable, and we get off of this thing after we hold them accountable. We get off of here and everybody goes to sleep either pissed off or happy about something we said. But we're not going to find personal information on them. We're not going to find personal pictures on them. We're not going to be pushing for them to be being out here drug in the streets, because some of these women do have children that they're trying to protect their baby girls and their baby boys. So let's be mindful of what we do to people and understand people got family members. Understand that you're putting yourself in an unsafe place by dragging these women, because you never know what kind of protection they may have that's surrounding them. All I'm asking is, men, let's grow up. Let's grow up. If a woman don't want you, move on to another one. There's too many in the world for you to stalk a woman. If you want to be messy like a female, then become what you're acting like, men. Become that very thing. They selling dresses for you. They got to dress your size. If you want to act like a woman, then be a woman. Because you acting like a woman when you're chasing a woman around and you're always in a woman's face and you're always chasing up behind a woman and you're trying to make a woman feel less than because you feel less than that she didn't choose you. So stay out of these chats. Stay off of these chats. Stay off of these channels. Stay out of the chats, the channels, out of people's inboxes. And ladies, the same thing goes for you. If you know, my thing is this. I've heard women say women have a women's intuition. Well, don't let intuition fail you now. Sometimes men will show you their red flags in the beginning of just a conversation, before sex, before any slob, and before you swap spit, anything like that, you will see red flags. And sometimes women, you will see those red flags and you still will entertain those red flags. And then when the red flag is raised, and then now, oh, I didn't know that. The first thing you don't want to do, sometimes you'll see the red flag and try to change the person. My thing is this: don't try to put a tuxedo on a snake and try to teach him not how to bite and then get mad when he bites you. The snake is going to do what he is designed to do, and that's bite your ass. So ladies, stop trying to put tuxedos on rattlesnakes. They're not meant to look pretty. They're meant to bite. And the reason that the rattlesnake has a rattler is because the rattler is significant to the red flag. So when you see, come here. So when you hear that rattler going on, that's the red flag. You hear it coming. You see it coming. The rattler says, I'm here and I'm here to do a job, and you ain't gonna like the job that I'm about to do. So when you see those men coming towards you, ladies, that has a rattle on the back of them, and you see that rattle represents that flag, then you need to do what you need to do and get out of that situation. Not only does Hink say, men, leave them at the restaurant, but tonight, I'm going to make a declaration tonight that women, if you see these red flags and you see the snake coming with the rattler on the back, I encourage you to leave his ass at the restaurant. Yes, over here on Black Man Unfiltered, we're going to hold your ass accountable, women, because if we didn't talk about you, we don't love you. Yes, women are going to be mad. Yes, people are going to get upset about things that I say. I'm unfiltered. That's what the channel's for. And you can come up on the panel if you want to be unfiltered as well. I'm not going to hold anybody for what they want to say. But it's a thin line between holding a woman accountable and making a woman miserable by sexually harassing her, virtually harassing her, following her around on YouTube channels, following her around in the chats. And women, stop accepting these men that do this and see the rattlesnake coming. You got to hold yourself up. These women got to be held accountable too. Sometimes these women are victims, yes, but would you have been a victim if you would have prepared yourself, or if you would have protected yourself when you saw the rattlesnake coming? Don't go sit down on the log by the rattlesnake. The rattlesnake ain't gonna do nothing but what he was designed to do. He's gonna bite the shit out of you. This is Black Men Unfiltered, with unfiltered reactions, guys. I love everybody in the chat. I love everybody. Thank you for making this channel what it is. I'm going to continue to. We have 8 shows running right now. I'm trying to get up to a whole bunch of them. Thank everybody. Thank the moderators tonight for moderating the chat and keeping people that don't deserve to be in the chat out of the chat. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you, moderators. Thank you, chat. You're undefeated. Thank you, guys. If you send a cash app for me a cup of coffee, I appreciate it. All right. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. You're beautiful. Thank you for being a part of the Black Men Unfiltered Network. If you want to send a cash app, it's Black Men Unfiltered. If you want to send a super chat, you can do that as well. But also hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share this content with someone that you love. They'll laugh, they'll cry, they'll get pissed off, and they'll come right back, and we'll do it all over again. We're gonna take you through the emotions. Thank you guys so much again. I cannot say how much I really, really appreciate all of you, and I love you. 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 I can't say it enough. All right. I love you. You guys make this channel what it is. If you want to join the channel, please become a member of the channel. I would love to have you as a member of the channel. So please hit the join button under this video right now and join the channel as well if that's what you want to do. Anything you can do to support. Subscribe, like, share, join, send a cash app, send a super chat, whatever you do to support this channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. All right. This has been Black Men Unfiltered, and we out this thing. Y'all have a wonderful rest of the day. We'll see you guys tomorrow for Talk That Talk Tuesday. We will be talking about the education system and how it needs to be thrown in the trash and revised. Peace.